Hello everybody and welcome back to Doc G's Reloading. Today we're going to do the unboxing of the Ruger pistol caliber carbine in 9mm. I think it only comes in 9mm, but we're also going to install a whole bunch of neat accessories for it. We're going to do a couple things here. We're going to do the Volquartsen trigger. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. The Volquartsen makes a replacement trigger group for it. And M-Carbo is another company that makes a lot of really neat things for it. You can kind of read it there. I get the glare off of it. So M-Carbo, and we're going to install some of those recoil reduction kit and a few other things we're going to put on it. Including a charging handle, like I said, the recoil reduction kit. We're going to put in better pins, better high quality steel pins that go in the receiver, and then a better extractor as well. So this is their better extractor. So we're going to install a whole bunch of neat items. This is from Tandem Cross. This is a really nice big magazine release, so we're going to install that as well. And we're also from TACCOM. You can see there from TACCOM, we're going to install this magwell. It's a snap-on, so it just snaps on for the magwell. I'm going to convert mine also over to the Glock magazines, since I did buy several of these in Glock. I also bought a 50 round drum magazine, which is upstairs, but we're going to put that on as well. And I'm going to put a bipod on the front, but I'm not going to use that obviously in competition. Alright, so let's get going here. Let's open her up and see what we got. So what's nice is Ruger kind of gives you everything you need in the box. So this is paperwork there. All right, so I will take all of this stuff out of the box here and we'll set it up on the bench and we'll see what it all looks like. All right, so there's the pistol caliber carbine there in the bag. We're gonna take it out of the bag so y'all can see it. All right, and then there's your pistol caliber carbine with the extendable, really nice buttstock from Magpul, and I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And then they do give you all three of the sizes of hex wrenches that you need to do anything with this, which is nice. Although I'm going to use my own, we already have a bunch. Of course, they give you the lock here for it. Oh, and they do give you this. I didn't know this. They give you an M-lock Picatinny rail, so you can use that. I did not know that, so that's something new. I had my own M-lock, but I'll use this one instead, and I'll install this on the bottom. It's also got a swivel stud there, screw swivel stud. So that's kind of nice. I did not know it came with that. The lock for the trigger, and of course the instruction manual, which we keep close by because we're going to need that. And then it comes with the Glock version of the magazine holder, because it's installed with the Smith & Wesson version, and they give you the Smith & Wesson version. This is what they give you for a magazine, which is nice. I mean, it's what is it, 17 round magazine that fits right at the get-go, and you don't have to change over to Glock if you don't want to. If you have a lot of Smith & Wesson style magazines, go ahead and use those. I am going to switch over to the Glocks, so I'm going to need this insert. And then we've got all of our paperwork. All right, we're going to set the box aside for now. And then this is what we've got. So we've got our instruction manual here. We've got the PCC itself. We've got this really nice, I did not know that this was in there. This is the it's an M-lock Picatinny rail. You get your 3 Allen keys, and you get your Glock style bottom piece for it. All right, So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this apart so we can install that bottom piece. It's also got a threaded barrel to it, which is nice. We are going to put a suppressor on that. The mag change is interchangeable. You can put it on either side. I'm going to leave it on the left side because I'm thinking that as I'm shooting and I need to make a change, I can't reach this with my finger. So I'm just going to bring my thumb over, release it with my left thumb, pop the new mag in, and I'm going to move this charging handle to the other side with an extended charging handle. So we're going to do that as part of our upgrades today. First we're going to do, let's just focus on one thing at a time here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull this back and push this little button in here. You can kind of see that locks the slide back. You pull back and it releases and goes forward. So I'll pull back and push there to hold the bolt back. And we're going to take out our little chamber flag. Hang on to that. It's always good to have chamber flag sitting around. And then we're going to disassemble it by pulling this back and twisting a quarter turn counterclockwise. And that just pops right off. Okay, so there's the front and there's the back. So now we're going to let that bolt slide forward, release it and let it slide forward. And I'm just going to extend the buttstock for now. And then we're going to set that M-lock away for a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get this disassembled so that we can change over to the Glock style mag. So we've got this one, it says to loosen but not to completely remove. So I'm going to loosen this one up here. We're not going to completely remove it. And then I'm going to do this one back here on the top. You can see this one here. And again, these are with the ones it came with. So I'm going to loosen that one all the way up. And we are going to take that one all the way out. This is the first time I've ever done this. So we'll see how it goes through here. That's the one for the back, where the pistol grip is. Pistol grip comes off. You can change that out too if you want to. And then this should just separate and lift off. There we go. Did I loosen it up enough? Let's see. Bear with me here as we go through this part. All right. All right, so there we go. So then this whole assembly pops out here. Now, I'm going to set this aside because we are going to put our fancy add-ins there. I have a charging handle. I also have a recoil reduction kit here from M-Carbo. So vast majority of these accessories are from M-Carbo. Yeah, from M-Carbo there. You can read that on the thing there. So it kind of gives you an idea of the company. And I'll put these links in at the end of this video as well. But from them, we're using quite a few things, and we're going to do their recoil reduction kit. First, we're going to change out this magazine holder here. Now, they say to push down this magazine holder here, and then to push in there on the inside. There you go. It lifts right out. Boom, you're done. So that's that one. That one's out. And then we're going to take the new one and put it in correctly. And then that's it. Put it in, it snaps in, and you're done. And then these are for the Glock stick mags, so that's exactly how it'll go in there. Nice, and it does have a lock open on your last round, so that's kind of nice. All right, so for now, that's done. We're going to put this magwell on here last. We're going to do that last, and evidently for this it just snaps on. It says you may have to hit it with a hammer, but it just snaps on there. We're going to do that when the whole thing is together. I just feel more comfortable doing it then. So all right, so we got it replaced. It's just that easy. Boom. And we are going to replace that magazine release. Let's do the internals though now. Let's get this out here and do some of the internals. Grab some tools here real quick. All right, so we're going to take out these two pins here. They just push out. Oh, and I also got from Tandem Cross, I also got two nicer pins than these, so we are going to be replacing those two pins. And here's our really nice both quartz and trigger group. I mean, it's just really, really nice. These little steel pins here did not come with it. These are the Tandem Cross steel pins here. These things just pop out. These are the steel pins I'm going to use to replace the ones I just took out. So we are going to use those. We're going to just set everything here because we're going to put that whole trigger group in as one. And that will be done after we do some internal stuff here with the recoil reduction kit. So we're going to take out that whole trigger group and just set it aside. Put it in with your spare parts somewhere. Hang on to it. I mean, I always do. I always hang on to my parts that I take apart. And then now, you know, you have to make sure that the recoil is off of this. The spring is all the way forward on this, because you're going to have to reach in here and get this loose and pull it forward. There you go. So you pull this thing forward. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to take off the charging handle. There we go. That would be something to do first, wouldn't it? There's an idea. All right, so you have to take charging handle off. And we're going to put some Loctite on that, because they always recommend doing that. So we are going to put some Loctite on that. When we change it, we're going to change it to the other side, though. And the one from the one that comes from M Carbo already has a screw with it. You can see there. This is the one that comes from M Carbo. It's a charging handle, and it's got its own screw in there. So we're going to use that screw. When we go to replace it, we're going to put it on the other side anyway. All right, so now we're going to take out the whole bolt assembly here. And lift up here. Okay, except there's a piece we're going to have to check here real quick. Okay, so it wasn't really that hard. You just have to, it's a little tricky because everything is tight, but I just followed the instructions on how to get this out with this backing plate and this piece of plastic that we're going to change with metal, and then the recoil spring, which we're going to replace as well. And then this just comes off here, and then you've got your bolt here with a big dead blow weight behind here. And while we've got the bolt apart, I'm going to put these, put this new extractor in there, and I'm going to put these other pins from M Carbo here that are tool grade steel and not the steel that they come with, which is not as nice. So we're going to kind of change those out. So I'm just following the instructions here on how to do this. And first off, you want to kind of compress that spring there. Compress your spring for your extractor. Take out that pin and then gently release it, and then you've got your old extractor. And we're going to take our new extractor and the new pin, which is a long pin here. Make sure you don't get your pins mixed up either, since this is all new. And then you're going to push that in, apply pressure to it, and then get that pin to pop right in there, just like that. Boom, that's in. That pin's replaced. Now there's two more pins here on the very front. Again, it's really not easy to see these, and I would refer to your instruction manual when you're going to work on replacing them. But you just basically push forward on the bolt to take some spring tension off of it, and then you're going to pry these out. Pry these top two out. And again, everything is super tight right now because it's brand new. So all right, we're going to pry these out, give them a break for a minute here as we do that. All right, so I just replaced those two pins up here on either side of the bolt. Those take a beating. That's why I replaced them with the tool grade steel. And then I did the same on the third one there. You kind of see there's three pins there. If I get the light reflecting off it just right for you, you can see there's three pins there one on the left and 2 on the right there. Okay, now this bolt carrier we're going to reassemble, but with new parts. I'm going to set these aside. That's a recoil spring and everything that it came with, and we're going to use these other parts from M-Carbo. What's nice is they replaced some of these parts with steel rather than the plastic that they came with, and then the one plastic piece they put rubber on instead, and they give you an enhanced recoil spring, which is nice because then it doesn't, you don't have any problems with it later running factory ammo. So these are the pieces in their recoil reduction kit here. As you can see, the one from the factory here is just plastic, and that takes a beating. So they still kept it plastic, but they put a rubber bumper there to help with longevity. And this piece here that it came with, which holds the rod and spring in place, is plastic, and they replaced that with a nice stainless steel one. So we're going to use that. And then we're going to use a newer spring, which is a much tighter spring. You can tell it's tighter, and it's the same length, but it's tighter for sure. It's a really nice spring. So that just goes together on here, and you put this together like this with this on here, recoil spring on there, and then you take this piece with the rubber piece inwards, and then you got to compress the spring down without it shooting through the basement. And their website has some good instructions on how to do this too, so that you don't make a huge mess out of things like I'm kind of doing here, because you want to stop that from moving. Actually, we can just do this. There we go. Then we put this on here, and then we put this piece on there. This little collar, steel collar now. It's a piece of steel rather than plastic. Piece of aluminum there. And then that's it. That's your recoil reduction group from M-Carbo put in, and then that slides into here. And we're going to put it back together again. And then we've already changed over our teeth here to tool grade steel. We put a new extractor in there that has a much nicer lip on it. It's made of higher grade steel. And then we're just going to slide this back in here. Again, everything fits in super tight. Good. And you just want to make sure that that's pressed in there, and you're done. That's it. So all those upgrades are already done. So that's kind of nice. I'm saving my spare parts over here. I always do. Kind of put them in a pile. And then we've got our really nice trigger group here that we're going to do next, which again is a drop-in from Volquartsen. You know, it's not cheap, but you know, Volquartsen stuff is really, really good. So I would say that, you know, Volquartsen is pretty much worth every penny you're going to spend on it. They make really great stuff. So we're just going to get this trigger group slid in there, and we're going to take our new pins here. And we're going to slide our new pins in. Doesn't matter which way you slide these in, they said. You just have to slide them in there. Alright, and we're going to do this for a second. Alright, there we go. And you don't need a hammer, I just discovered, to put those pins in from Tandem Cross. They just slide in. So those are the two bright silver pins there. And those replace the 2 pins here that eventually just kind of start falling out on their own as you have to do maintenance on this. So I just replaced everything all at once, and then we're going to move the charging handle for me to the left side. So we've got the M-Carbo version of the charging handle, which comes with its own screw. And what I'm going to do is get, since everything's always greasy, I'm going to get a little Loctite here. They recommend putting Loctite on this piece. So we're going to use some blue Loctite. We're going to put a little bit on there. A little dab will do you. There you go, a little bit there. And then we're going to screw this in. And we're going to do that. And then this just screws in. And this is the extended charging handle from M Carbo, and it's the nicest one I found on the market. It's the only one that's really longer. The other ones aren't really any longer, which I kind of found interesting. But this one is definitely longer and nicer. I mean, you can just see the difference there between the two. I mean, that's it's longer, it's bigger round, it's nicer. Again, no comparison there. All right, so we've got all of those accessories put on. We've got our new bolt in there and handle. I'm gonna tighten that up real quick. All right, we got that charging handle back on there and nice and tight so that it works now. And we're gonna do that from the left hand. We got the new trigger group in from Volkorsen. Functions the same way, has the safety on the bottom, everything else is the same. You know, while we're here, let's just change out this mag release so that we get the extended mag release instead. And we're going to take this and loosen this puppy up here. It's a very small Allen key. Okay. And it doesn't come with the one that would work there. Okay, so we're going to find an Allen key and we're going to do that real quick. Okay, we're back. We got the right size Allen key for this. And we're going to loosen this puppy up here and unscrew. And just put a little pressure on it so that doesn't shoot across the room again. You don't want anything under spring tension shooting across the room. If you don't have to, which I would agree you don't have to, gonna let up the spring tension there. Pull this off here. Use the same screw. And again, we're going from the stock one there to the one from Tandem Cross, which is a big difference in size. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's no kind of no comparison there. We're going to put this back with the one that we're not using. And we're going to tighten this one up. Put this on, tighten this puppy down. Has Loctite on it already. I don't know that we need any more than that, but we're going to snug this one up here. All right, and then you don't want to gorilla tighten that one. From my understanding on this is that if it's too tight, it'll kind of bind a little bit. We should have to tighten it down enough that it's not. There you go. All right, so that should be good. Yep. Perfect. Then it extends. I got my mag there. Pop that one in. Drops out. So empty mag's working perfectly there. See, it snaps in like that. And drops right out. So that's good. All right, I'm going to come up here a little bit. Folks, bear with me here. I want to make sure you guys are getting a good enough view of the rest of the stuff here. All right, there we go. All right, so we've got our Tandem Cross in there holding that. And then now we're going to reassemble the bottom here. Which again, this is just going to fit over here again, just like that. If it snaps right on like it did before. Again, this is very tight because this is brand new out of the box, so things are fit a little bit tighter. There we go. All right, excellent. And then we're going to want to put our bolts in here real quick. So I'm going to start off at the back, put your handle in there, drop this through, and then we're going to start to tighten this one here. Get it down at least a little bit snug. That's my wife texting me, so all right. And then we're going to get this front one started here and screwed in. There we go, just like that. Just tightens down. Again, none of this stuff needs to be gorilla tight, but it needs to be tight. So, all right. So what we've done is I'm just going to kind of recap as I'm tightening up here. We changed out the parts on the receiver that take a beating. So we replaced the ejector. I'm sorry, the extractor. We removed these 3 pins, 1 for the extractor and 2 for the bolt head, and we're upgrading those to tool grade steel, A2. I believe they call it A2 grade, tool grade steel. So we upgraded those. We also got rid of the wimpy recoil spring here and the back recoil pad and the plastic piece that was with it, which again is all stuff that's going to break eventually. So I'm trying to look ahead and not have this fail on a match for me. We also got rid of the mag release button. We got rid of the 2 pins that hold the trigger group together, and we got rid of the charging handle. So all that stuff was, now only some of this is on the outside, most of it's on the inside, so a lot of you don't even see, but yeah, there we go, that's tight. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actuate the slide back, we're going to lock it. So this is the new trigger group. All right, so the lock is here, down here. So when you're done firing, boom, 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 you do get slide lock. It does stay back, but then once you pop the new mag in, you have to pull back here and let it go forward. It's not a release like a standard sporting rifle, AR. So it is a little different, but I'm going to pull that back and lock it so we can get the barrel on. And then the barrel just goes down the opposite way as before. So we put it on and just twist, and that's it. We got it on there. All right, so that's all there is to it. And then this gun is ready to go. Now, I always hang on to all my old parts here. I'm going to hang on to those in a bag just in case. Again, most of this stuff came from M Carbo. I think it's a great company. They do a fantastic job, well thought out pieces. And then the Volquartsen trigger group, which I think was like $240. I got it from Brownells, but I'd say is worth it. It reduces the trigger pull weight, so you have substantially less. And I'm just going to use the box that came in to kind of put my old trigger group in there and hang on to my old trigger group just in case, you know, hang on to that stuff. Doubtful that you'll ever need it, but I always hang on to it. Now, the only other thing to install for me is I'm going to install this M-lock in the front. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I'm going to put that in the front. I'm going to put a little bipod on it just so I can sight it in. And now this here from TACCOM, this is TACCOM, they've got this magwell. So now this magwell should just snap on here. We're going to give it a try. They said sometimes you might need a hammer to do it, but now that it's all together and I can hold it easier, there we go. That's it. Snaps on. Boom, you're done. Look, it doesn't move, and perfect. And now you got a nice big area to shove the mag in during a competition. I am going to use this for competition. I'm going to start competing in the PCC, obviously, and I do not want to spend $3,500 on a, you know, a 9mm pistol caliber carbine. I think that's a lot of money. You know, next year I'd like to get a Atlas Nemesis in 40 cal for limited division USPSA, and that's kind of where I'm going to be putting my money. But anyway, I'm going to put the optic on this, and I'm going to put the bipod, and I'm going to put a suppressor on it, and then you're going to see the final picture when it's all done here. Hang on just a second. Okay, everybody, got it all together. So this is what she looks like here. I got the suppressor on the front here, my SIG SRD9 for 9mm. I decided to mount this EOTech up here. It doesn't really mount very well back here, even though that this is aluminum. It does say in the instructions that some optics will not fit on this because it's a very narrow piece between the top of the rifle and the bottom of the Picatinny rail. You know, we've all experienced that. This up here didn't, and I also kind of like it up here because it gives me the biggest sight picture when I'm shooting. So I zeroed this in with a bore sight laser just now. This little nubbin up here is for a brass catcher. I do like to, you know, if I'm out just clinking around and just shooting, I like to have a little brass catcher there. And especially if I'm shooting in the backyard, I like to have a brass catcher on. So that'll come off obviously in competition. But I got the bipod on just for now. I'm going to take that off, but it went on with an M-lock front rail that they had there. And again, so we have a bunch of internal adjustments and accessories we added. We've got the bottom magwell here from TACCOM. We've got the charging handle from M Carbo here. We've got the tandem cross enlarged bolt release, and it's set up for Glock magazines, which pop right in there and drop right out. So it is all set and ready to go. You can extend this out here and gives you front to back view of kind of what we did today. And like I said, it's ready to go run. I'm gonna go try it out and I'll get you a video of some range time with it. Thanks for watching. Doc G's Reloading. I appreciate it.